Okay guys, here is the recipe that we're using, and my iPad is sitting on my hearth and hand stand, and I love to use this when I'm cooking. So this is the best chocolate cake recipe. Like I said, I made it last year and it turned out just fine. I'll put a link to it in the description box below. Okay, now let's just look here. These are the ingredients that I will be using. And as you can see, I already greased and floured my pans. And actually what I use is Pam. And I'm trying this time. I actually used the baking one, but I didn't have that. So I'm gonna see how that works out. Now, I'm not for sure if I am going to make the frosting from scratch or if I am going to use these combined. So that just kind of gives you an idea that when I go to the store, I have plan A for if I'm going to make a frosting from scratch, but then plan B in case I decide I don't want to. You see this? Preheated oven. Okay, so let's get started with the recipe. Now, just before we do that, this is what the cake looks like on the recipe. And hopefully, mine should come out looking like this at the end. All right, guys, so I showed you that this recipe called for 2 cups of sugar. I don't want to use sugar, so I'm using Truvia. I did that last year and it turned out just fine, just in case you're wondering. Okay, guys, so as you can see the ingredients for the dry ingredients specifically, I have added all of those to my bowl. And so what I'm going to do now is whisk them all together, which is what the recipe calls for. So I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like after I do that. Well, it smells nice and chocolatey. Chocolatey. Ooh, this smells good. And just to kind of let you see, that's what it looks like. Okay, so I've added all my wet ingredients, so I'm gonna mix that up and then I'll come back. I've added all the wet ingredients. I've blended them all quite nicely. And this recipe calls for a cup of boiling water. So I have my tea kettle on the stove. And so when that whistles, then I'll pour the boiling water, the cup of boiling water in here, mix that in, and then I guess we'll be ready to pour these into the pan, okay? Keep watching. All right, we are out of the oven. So now let me look and see if I want to make the frosting from scratch or if I am going to use some Betty Crocker already made frosting. Keep watching. So as you can see, I decided to make this butter frosting. So let me go and soften this butter up and then I'll proceed with this recipe. Here are the ingredients that I'll be using to make this frosting. you guys, this is some kind of good frosting. I made this from scratch. Okay, so I'm gonna put them on my, spread it all over my cakes now. Keep watching. The frosting is so nice and smooth. And that's in part because you have to soften your butter. You can't use butter right out the refrigerator or it won't spread right. Guys, I'm chewing, eating my dinner and doing this as well. So I'm gonna keep frosting and I'll come back and let you see the reveal, okay? Thanks for hanging in there. Y'all wanna come over? Here's the reveal. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will put this recipe in the description box below. You have to try it. Now with this, you can have some ice cream or some Cool Whip.